Hey, this is Anthony with Level 1 Gaming, and I'm here with another review. Today I'm reviewing Ion Shift. Ion Shift is a 2D action game that allows you to be the perfect organism and wipe scientific facilities aboard this spaceship clean of human life. This indie game is short, roughly 3 hours to complete, with a nice price point of only $5.99 on Steam. While seemingly simple at first, the game is complex and reminded me of the fast movement and reflexes you'd need in games like Hotline Miami or Super Meat Boy. This game made for a fun experience, as you get to basically play as a red xenomorph and cause horror, gore, and chaos upon the humans. This game has smooth, fast gameplay, and it's almost like a puzzle in nature, as you problem solve and discover the best and most efficient paths through the enemies you kill and reaching checkpoints as you make progress. The boss levels change things up as the boss chases you through the level, so be prepared for many quick insta-death moments as you try to escape. These sections have a fairly high ramp up in difficulty, so be ready and be prepared to have extremely fast reflexes during these encounters. As you die in one hit, not only in these boss encounters, but always, you are extremely fragile but flexible. In no time, you'll be dodging turrets, slashing through humans, crawling through vents, and planning your kills one by one. As you progress through the game, the developers have done a great job naturally introducing you to new mechanics, giving you the time and space to learn these new mechanics before putting them to use in a high-stress situation with enemies. The game starts at more and more spots where these new mechanics are required, and it feels organic and natural as you learn more and as the levels progressively add more of these mechanics and obstacles on your journey. There are multiple difficulties, so if you want less or more challenge, you can choose the difficulty you are looking for. And, as always, you need to wipe them out. All of them. There are some short cutscenes in the game and dialogue to start, but not too much throughout, so the majority of the immersion into Ion Shift's world is through its world building. Some of the dialogue can be well written and witty, and the environments, enemies, music, and sounds come together to create a sci-fi experience that is a treat for the senses. The creature you control climbs on walls, ceilings. You can use various items in the environment you find to throw at enemies with your tail. You can find sharp objects like knives to throw at enemies, grenades, EMPs, and more that you can use to kill enemies or work your way around environmental hazards or puzzles. The game has a nice pacing, as some levels allow for slow and methodical planning, easily taking out one enemy at a time, sometimes without anyone else noticing, and clearing out an entire area, making for a very satisfying experience. Over the 16 levels the game has, you will find levels that are more linear in progression, and others that are extremely large in size that I almost got lost in at times. These more open levels, while giving you more flexibility on how you want to approach things, I found to be some of the most difficult in the game. Luckily, as I noted earlier, there are plenty of checkpoints. As for bugs or issues, I had one crash very early on, but never another one after that. I found that some items on the ground that you could use will sometimes disappear if you die and reload a checkpoint, which was annoying at times when I really needed them. Other than those two issues, I never had any other problems, and the experience was smooth and bug-free otherwise. The graphics in Ion Shift are very much in the style of 2D pixel art of the 1990s. It replicated the look, sound, and feel perfectly without that feeling with some games where you can still feel the 2025 game engine underneath. This can be visible when the game is rendering 3D objects, like the spaceship in cutscenes, but when playing the levels, it does a very good job of replicating a 2D pixel game. The music and sound effects help bring the levels to life, and certain sounds of hazards, enemies, and more help alert you to the incoming threats. So, in conclusion, Electrosoul Games have created a fun, experimental title to try for a cheap price. With more evolution and refinement, they have the potential to create a larger game that builds upon what they have created here. The controls are very intuitive. I played it with both a mouse and keyboard and a controller, with both options providing the same precision and control I wanted. I am unsure if they plan to bring this game to consoles, but if they do, it will play very well on console with this controller layout already. Despite some rough difficulty spikes and the larger levels kind of losing their focus, the world of Ion Shift and its shifter creature is a memorable one, with controls and gameplay that can rival the greats like Hotline Miami and Super Meat Boy. This team has created something special with a bit more creativity, expansion, and possibly adding different forms to the shifter that can lead to different types of gameplay, could lead to a diverse and exciting sequel. If games like Hotline Miami and Super Meat Boy are a genre you enjoy, then this fairly priced entry is more than worth your time and money. So, ratings, I give the gameplay an 8.2 out of 10, story 7.4 out of 10, sound 9.4 out of 10, graphics 8.1 out of 10, with a final score of 8.2 out of 10. And in summary, some pros and cons. Pros: it has fantastic retro graphics, music, and sound effects. The brutal and smooth gameplay with a variety of mechanics is very well done. It has intuitive controls and natural and organic tutorials that don't halt the flow. Some cons: some extremely high difficulty spikes, especially with boss levels, and the larger levels do tend to lose their pacing and focus. Well, that was Anthony with Level 1 Gaming. I hope you enjoyed this review. Check this great game out, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a great one.